Hey guys, what's going on? Andrew coming at you. In this one, I wanted to answer some of your questions and comments. There's a little bit of cooking going on in the background, so it's possible that some sound effects could be in the way, but I'm going to try to filter out as much as I can the sound effects in the background, and if it doesn't work completely, I hope you understand because I wanted to just get this video out to you guys. So let's go in and read some of your questions and comments. Snilson says, thanks for sharing, and this is about how moving to Sweden changed me as a person. Thanks for sharing. Really thoughtful. I recently turned 25 and I'm stuck in a small town here in southern Sweden where I've been all my life. I can relate to what you're saying, and even though I have a pretty good life, I think I need to change the street and put myself in uncomfortable situations to evolve as a person. I won the DV lottery this year, not sure what that is, but if you need anyone to donate to, I'm here. You can donate to the Andrew Austin channel if you want. Just kidding, buddy. And I'm looking to move to the States in a few months, and I would like to do, if you could do a video on tips to do adults to move to the U.S. Something I can kind of go into. First of all, I think I can go into more details, Nielsen, once you kind of know where you're going to be in the States. If you're going to be in the East Coast, West Coast, if you're going to be studying. I'm guessing you're going to have to go to the States and study if you're going to go. Unless you're just planning on going for a trip, then that's something I can definitely suggest to you on what to do, some of the rules. So you'll have to kind of go into more details of what you want to do, and we'll go from there. For everybody else, if you have any suggestions on some videos that I can do for you guys that you'd really like to see, feel free to write that in the comments of this video. I'm going to have a little bit more free time next week. I really want to hit closer to that 1,000 subs before I hit my 1 year mark, which it might be possible. It might not be possible. And either way, that's okay. But I might try to pump out a lot more videos. I might not actually do more videos per week on that. I'm about to have a lot more free time in a week. But what I might do is kind of film ahead and do a lot of videos and maybe do some more editing and stuff and work on that. My plan is to try to be somewhat productive that week for at least YouTube to kind of get ahead because I'm doing so much recent stuff on YouTube and it's nice, but if I get a little bit busy, that can make things difficult. Minnie says, I live in Norrköping and I love to walk in the parks and see colors of the trees this time of year, but I hate the cold. Yeah, today was a really cold day in my area of Sweden. I'm sure it wasn't a lot of other areas as well for fall. And it is tough when the cold hits. I'm, again, noticing that when it's darker outside, I love my YouTube channel, but I'm having a hard time being productive. It happens from time to time. Sometimes you're going to be really productive. Sometimes you're going to be not as productive. But my advice to you guys is what I like to do, which is just focus on being consistent. Consistency is important and just trying to do this thing. That's what I try to do every day. Is just be consistent. Let's see here. Let's move on to see what other comments we got. This one I don't really understand. Great video. Do you have any thoughts on Almensraten? You kind of have to go, this is the Hiski. You kind of, for me, have to go into what that is. I'm going to go ahead really quickly and like Google it to see because I should maybe know this word, but let me see here. Just going to Google it and see. Oh, now I know what it is. Okay, sorry about that. So what it is yeah, I think it's really cool. So this what you were talking about is one of the reasons I wanted to move to Sweden was the idea that people can like camp and go anywhere else. It's a totally different thing when you think about it because in the U.S. people have their own land and would like, could shoot you if you're on their property. And the idea that, okay, you're not going to go in someone's backyard necessarily, but like if you're in the outskirts of someone's property and the idea that we all share nature, it's the Swedish idea that you can go and camp somewhere. And, I've done stuff like that before where we were with our friends, but I saw you would camp, you have a good time, but you clean up after yourself, you make sure the area is just as good as it was before you left, and you go from there. So that's awesome. Stefan Ludström says, pulp equals fruktkött in Swedish. So I hope I said that right. So fruktkött. Fruktkött, okay? And then this is Oksana, I hope I say your name right because you did say it's a Ukrainian name, and this was one of my favorite comments I got. So I'm just going to go ahead and read it because it was really awesome because I did open up a little bit about what it's like having anxiety, which was nice for me because it was a personal video to make, and I'm so happy that this video had a positive impact on you. And so Oksana Davdenko says, hello, Andrew. Just finished watching the video, and I cannot stress enough how happy I am to have met a person who is working through the same issues as I am. My mom and I moved from Ukraine to the United States almost 5 years ago. It was a tough journey and still is, but I'm really happy we made the move and immigrated to the U.S. Prior to our immigration, I did suffer from anxiety of some sort, Well, I'm not sure if it was anxiety or just me being shy, but it did make me feel pretty uncomfortable. I feel like moving to the States actually exacerbated my anxiety and self-awareness. I tend to get really nervous when I have to socialize with groups of Americans. I find myself caring a lot more about what others think of me, and I certainly suffer from the lack of self-control. About 6 months ago, I realized my true self, and it gets in the way of reaching my full potential. She realized that she has to deal with the state of mind. I came to realize that anxiety is preventing me from being my true self. Sorry about that. It gets in the way of reaching my full potential. I have potential to achieve so much if I get my anxiety under control. I'm working through these issues right now, and this change is turning out pretty successful and positive for me. Not to say that it comes easy, but I certainly can say how much progress I have made, and it makes me push through even harder. I've also been dealing with a strong fear of being different. And I think at one point I tried to reject the Ukrainian side of me just so I could fit in even more. And only now I realize how self-destructive this approach was. The truth is, you cannot run away from who you are, and you should try to do so. Instead, you need to embrace your uniqueness, because at the end of the day, it is your beauty and your strength. It is what makes you one precious gem. Thank you for posting this video. Knowing that I am not alone in this empowers me to keep going and reach new heights. This comment really meant a lot to me because I really feel honored that some kind of video that I put out there really helped someone else going through a rough time realize that they're not alone. And what I will say is, you all of us have to deal with things, and if you're dealing with anxiety or anything else, you can get it under control. But also, it's okay to have good days and bad days. I still constantly have good days or bad days, and sometimes I can even have a bad week or a good week. Some of the mistakes I can make sometimes is I can overanalyze. I can be like, I'm stressed today. Why am I stressed today? Did I do this, this, and this, and this? And then you're stressing about it too much. Keep in mind that it's okay. We are different. Embrace yourself. Just don't be your own worst enemy. Don't be afraid to try new things. You don't have to necessarily be as drastic as me and move to another country. But really good. And also ask me off topic, I know you can play guitar. How did you learn to play, and what resources did you use, and what was the toughest part of learning? I started out as a bass guitar player, and then I moved to guitar. And for me, I would suggest learning chords and getting like a chord book. That's how I kind of started, and I started to learn songs. The hardest part of learning how to play guitar is just shifting and switching through the chords on time. That was the most difficult part. And then Richard Troyer says, you spoke about your friend shipping a car. I would like to know more. I'm in San Diego and curious about $800 to ship. Was that from New York? Which company was it? Is it possible to ride along on the boat with my vehicle? I don't know if you could do that. I'm going to say probably can't ride along on the boat for $800. You're probably going to want to fly because I think it takes a decent amount of time to ship. It was from New York. I don't know which shipping company. That's something you need to look up. I'm not 100% sure. So I apologize for that, but that's what I heard, and so I think that's a possibility. If you find out different, Richard, in any way, then feel free to tell me and correct me, because I am just saying to you what I've heard, and I don't want to put false information out there. So thank you guys so much for checking out this video. If you like this one, please go ahead and give me a like. If you're new to the channel, I would love to have you subscribe if I'm popping up in your news feed every once in a while. I know how YouTube works. That's cool. And if you want, please hit my links below. Check out some of my music. I'm hopefully going to be working on some new music. I realize that I haven't posted music in a while, and so what I'm going to do as well is I need to remember to make an effort over this break to put a couple new covers and songs on there. I have some issues with my guitar I got to fix, which is why I haven't been doing that. But I'll be doing that soon if you want to check out my music, and I will see you guys in the next video.